What if I told you that the hardest part of quitting sugar isn't giving it up? It's surviving the first 72 hours. Most people think sugar is just food. But what if it's been quietly controlling your brain, your energy, your mood, and even your cravings for years? Here's something even more shocking. Within just 24 hours of cutting out sugar, your body starts changing in ways most people never notice. Some of those changes are incredible. Others can feel surprisingly uncomfortable. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what's happening inside your body hour by hour, why so many people give up too early, and how to make those first 3 days much easier. Because if you can get through the first 72 hours, everything starts getting easier. So let's begin with day 1. Imagine waking up tomorrow morning and making one simple decision. No sugary drinks, no chocolate, no biscuits, no cakes, no sweets, not even that healthy cereal loaded with hidden sugar. At first, nothing dramatic seems to happen. You might even think, this isn't that difficult. But inside your body, a fascinating transformation has already begun. Normally, every time you eat sugar, your blood glucose rises very quickly. To deal with that sugar, your pancreas releases a hormone called insulin. Think of insulin as a key. Its job is to unlock your cells so sugar can move from your bloodstream into your body to be used for energy. The problem is, most people eat sugar several times a day. Breakfast, snacks, soft drinks, desserts, which means insulin stays high almost constantly. Your body gets so used to burning sugar that it almost forgets how to burn fat efficiently. But today, for the first time in a long while, the sugar doesn't arrive, and that's when insulin starts to fall. This is one of the first major changes your body experiences. Lower insulin sends your body an important message. We don't have as much sugar coming in anymore. It's time to start looking for another fuel source. At first, your body uses stored sugar called glycogen. Think of glycogen as your emergency battery pack. Most of it is stored in your liver and muscles. Instead of reaching for chocolate, your body quietly reaches for its own energy reserves. Pretty clever, isn't it? Over the next several hours, those glycogen stores slowly begin shrinking. As they do, something interesting starts happening. Your body begins preparing to burn more fat. Not full ketosis yet, but it's taking its first small steps in that direction. Most people have absolutely no idea this is happening, because you can't see it. But your metabolism is already shifting gears. It's almost like changing from petrol to hybrid mode. The transition has begun. Now here's where things become really interesting. Many people expect to feel instantly healthier after quitting sugar, but that's rarely what happens first. In fact, some people begin feeling a little tired, a little slower, maybe even slightly irritable. Why? Because your brain has become incredibly efficient at using glucose as its favorite source of fuel. When that constant sugar supply suddenly disappears, your brain notices, not because something is wrong, but because it's adapting. Think about it like switching your phone to battery saver mode. Everything still works. It just feels a little different while adjustments are being made. You may also notice you're getting hungry more often. But here's the surprising part. You're not always hungry because your body needs food. Sometimes, you're simply craving the habit. That afternoon chocolate, that evening dessert, that sweet coffee during work. Your brain loves routines, and right now, you've just interrupted one of its favorite ones. But don't worry, this feeling won't last forever. In fact, what happens over the next 2 days is even more fascinating, because that's when your brain begins fighting back. And that's exactly where most people give up. This is where things become much more challenging. For many people, these are the hardest 48 hours of the entire journey. Not because their body needs sugar, but because their brain believes it does. Have you ever wondered why it's so difficult to ignore a craving? Why you can promise yourself you'll avoid sweets, only to find yourself reaching for them without even thinking? The answer lies deep inside your brain. Every time you eat something sugary, your brain releases a chemical called dopamine. Dopamine is often called the feel-good chemical, but that's not actually its main job. Its real purpose is to teach your brain, that felt good, do it again. Thousands of years ago, this system helped humans survive. Sweet foods were rare. They usually meant fruit, which meant energy, so the brain rewarded us for finding them. But today, sugar is everywhere. In soft drinks, breakfast cereals, flavored yogurts, sauces, even foods that don't taste particularly sweet. Your brain never evolved for this. Instead, it keeps receiving reward after reward, day after day, until it starts expecting sugar as part of everyday life. Now imagine suddenly removing it. Your brain becomes confused. The reward it was expecting never arrives. So it begins sending stronger and stronger signals. Go and find something sweet. Just one biscuit won't hurt. You can start again tomorrow. Sound familiar? Those thoughts aren't a sign that you're weak. They're simply part of how the brain responds to breaking a well-established habit. This is why cravings can feel incredibly powerful during day 2. Sometimes they appear out of nowhere. You could be driving, watching television, working at your desk, then suddenly, all you can think about is chocolate, or sweets, or a sugary drink. The craving often feels urgent, but here's something fascinating. Most cravings don't last very long. In many cases, they rise like a wave, reach their peak, then slowly disappear within about 15 to 30 minutes if you don't feed them. Think of it like an itch. The more you scratch it, the longer it stays. The less attention you give it, the faster it fades. This is also the stage where some people experience withdrawal symptoms: a mild headache, feeling unusually tired, difficulty concentrating, mood swings, even feeling a little anxious or irritable. These symptoms can be unpleasant, but for most healthy people, they're temporary. Your body isn't being harmed. It's adjusting to a different way of producing energy. At the same time, your insulin levels continue to stay lower than usual. Your glycogen stores become even smaller, and your body starts relying more heavily on stored fat. Little by little, your metabolism is becoming more flexible. Something remarkable is happening behind the scenes. Your body is remembering a skill it has always had: the ability to burn its own fat for fuel. This doesn't happen overnight, but every hour without added sugar, you're giving your body another opportunity to adapt. And here's the exciting part. By the time you wake up on day 3, many people notice something unexpected. The cravings begin to lose their power. Not disappear completely, but become quieter, less demanding, easier to ignore. And that's when confidence starts to grow. Because you realize you're no longer fighting every minute of the day. But there's one final stage that determines whether you'll succeed or fall back into old habits. If you've made it this far, congratulations, because you've already pushed through the stage where most people give up. The constant cravings that seemed impossible to ignore are starting to become quieter. You may still think about sugary foods from time to time, but they no longer feel like they're in complete control. Why? Because your brain is beginning to adapt. The dopamine reward system is no longer expecting a constant stream of sugar every few hours. Instead, it's slowly resetting itself. And while this process continues for days and even weeks, the biggest shock has already passed. Your body is becoming better at switching between different sources of energy. Rather than relying only on sugar, it's becoming more efficient at using stored fat when needed. Many people also notice something surprising around this time. Their energy starts to feel more stable. Instead of the familiar cycle, a quick burst of energy after eating something sweet, followed by a crash a short time later, energy begins to feel smoother throughout the day. Not necessarily higher, but much more consistent. Another interesting change happens with your taste buds. Foods that once seemed boring can suddenly taste sweeter than before. An apple may taste surprisingly sweet. Fresh strawberries can feel almost like dessert. Even carrots and peppers may have a sweetness you never noticed before. That's because your taste buds are becoming more sensitive after being constantly exposed to large amounts of added sugar. Your body is slowly rediscovering what natural food really tastes like. But don't make one common mistake. Many people believe that after surviving 3 days, they can reward themselves with just one treat. For some people, that works. But for many others, one sugary snack quickly becomes another, and before they know it, they're back in the same cycle they worked so hard to escape. Instead, try making your first week as easy as possible. Keep healthy snacks nearby. Choose foods rich in protein. Include healthy fats like eggs, avocados, nuts, or olive oil. Drink plenty of water throughout the day. If a craving appears, wait 10 or 15 minutes before acting on it. Go for a short walk. Make a cup of tea. Call a friend. Keep yourself busy. Very often, the craving disappears before you even realize it. Remember, the goal isn't perfection. The goal is progress. If you accidentally eat something sugary, don't tell yourself you've failed. Simply get back on track with your very next meal. One choice doesn't define your journey. Consistency always beats perfection. Now imagine where you could be in another week or another month. More stable energy, fewer cravings, better control over your eating habits, and perhaps a healthier relationship with food than you've had in years. The first 72 hours are not the finish line. They're the beginning of a healthier lifestyle. If you're thinking about quitting sugar, or you've already started, leave a comment below and tell us which day you're on. I'd love to hear about your experience. And if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our future health and wellness videos. Thanks so much for watching. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.